The hydrological cycle, aka the water cycle, freshwater and saltwater. Freshwater makes up 2.5% of Earth's water, while saltwater makes up 97.5% of Earth's water. Saltwater intrusion is the movement of saline water into freshwater aquifers, can lead to contamination of drinking water sources. Saltwater intrusion occurs naturally to some degree in most coastal aquifers between groundwater and seawater. Floodplain. Low-lying ground near a river made mostly of river sediments and prone to flooding. Advantage brings fertile soil. Disadvantage destroys homes. Impermeable surface. Something that is impermeable does not allow water or liquid to pass through it. Water footprint. The amount of fresh water used by people for goods and services. Ogallala Aquifer. The Ogallala Aquifer is a shallow water table aquifer surrounded by sand, silt, clay, and gravel located beneath the Great Plains in the United States. Groundwater overdrafts. Groundwater overdrafts is when groundwater is used up before it can be replenished, leading to a decline in groundwater.
Agricultural use of water accounts for nearly 70% of the water used through the world, and the majority of this water is used for irrigation. Agriculture is very inefficient with water. There are many types of irrigation, such as surface irrigation, localized irrigation, center pivot irrigation, and sprinkler irrigation. The three most efficient methods, however, are flood irrigation, drip irrigation, and spray irrigation. Another way to conserve water is through xeriscaping. A xeriscape is a landscape in a style which requires little or no irrigation. Ways agriculture can reduce wastewater is by growing crops that use less water, precision use of irrigation, use methods alternative to irrigation, and enhance water retention in the soil. Water is also used by smelting facilities, petroleum refineries, and industries producing chemical products, food, and paper products. Large amounts of water are used mostly to produce food, paper, and chemicals. Domestic water uses water used for indoor and outdoor household purposes, for all things you do at home. The average American family uses more than 300 gallons of water per day at home. Ways to reduce domestic water use include insulating your water pipes, checking for leaks, and taking shorter showers. Gray water is a relatively clean wastewater from bath sinks, washing machines, and other kitchen appliances. Gray water can be reused, recycled with little or no treatment for landscape irrigation and other non-potable uses, but can pollute the environment and could be harmful to humans. Water problems are very extensive. Having too much raises sea levels and causes flood, while having too little causes drought and dehydration. Here in the U.S., water distribution is a problem. This is evident because of Mono Lake, where the lack of an outlet caused high levels of salt to accumulate in the lake, making the lake water alkaline. India and Bangladesh share 54 rivers between them. Despite setting up a joint river commission for water management as early as 1972, tensions between the countries on how to share resources recently came to a head in a dispute over the Titsa River. At stake are the lives of countless people from West Bengal and Bangladesh who depend upon the river for survival.
The Great Flood of 1993 was caused by above-average rainfall and below-average temperatures and affected Iowa, Illinois, Kansas, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. Dikes run parallel to a body of water, dams runs through a body of water, and the levees are built to prevent overflow of water. The commonality between them is that they all hold back water. Levee disadvantage is increased water speed, which can lead to higher erosion rates, and the advantage is stops floodings of rivers. Sometimes, though, flooding of rivers is good because when a farmland is flooded, nutrients are carried to the farmland, allowing better crops to grow. After Hurricane Katrina, the levee in New Orleans broke, flooding most of the city. Dikes are most commonly found along rivers. The most famous dike is located at the Spanish Peak. The largest dam in the world is the Three Gorges Dam, and dams provide flood control, water storage, and electrical generation. Dams are decreasing salmon population because salmon are not able to travel upstream to breeding places, so people have been moving the salmon around the dam in trucks. When a dam is destroyed, lakes are turned back into rivers, affecting wildlife in the area. Dams can no longer stop flooding, which could kill a lot of wildlife. The largest reservoir system is located in New Mexico. Desalination is removing salt from water. Desalination is needed for places by the sea that don't have fresh water sources. The process of desalination releases a lot of waste into the environment but also doesn't drain any freshwater sources and only uses water from the ocean. Humans have increased flooding through agriculture and deforestation and faulty dams. A cone of depression occurs when groundwater is pumped from a well and is a depression of the water levels in an unconfined aquifer. Cones of depression can affect other wells in the area. Water diversion. The body of water originates in Northern California with the Feather River. It was built to provide drinking water to more than 23 million people and stretches more than 700 miles. Unfortunately, this project is bringing the state into debt and several groups are protesting its creation.